Howdy. Out getting after it after a while. Had a week or two off running. My back's been playing up after I was trying to do some bad jiu-jitsu deliberately and pinged my back again. It's been really interesting, and usually when I go running I'm often listening to Hickson's Breathe or Comfort in Darkness. It's typically what I listen to when I go running. I find it very inspiring, and what he's going through with Parkinson's is obviously much greater than what I'm going through with all my body issues, but the message is the same anyway, you know, like do what you can, not what you want, and you have to accept your limitations sometimes. But that's not really what I was thinking about. Literally just in his Comfort in Darkness now, he was talking about forgiveness and letting go of past stuff and things like that, and not feeling, and I guess it's a common thing amongst fighters and competitors, people that compete in all sorts of sports, is that we're so used to winning all the time. And one of the things that I found difficult in the therapy with Adele is that the idea that two people can have a completely different perspective on a disagreement, and to be able to just leave it like that, even your perception on the words that were used can be different, but ultimately, like, what's the relationship worth? Is it worth letting go of this win to be able to have the bigger win of keeping the relationship and just moving on and accepting that you have disagreements and accepting that sometimes you have completely different perspectives on what happened with the disagreement, what started it, and to be able to be comfortable with not winning and not losing and just letting it go. Like, that's really, really challenging, and I found that very challenging during therapy. But it's really interesting hearing Hickson talk about exactly the same thing. As his Parkinson's progressed, he had like an alternative doctor who was obviously looking at the mind, body and spirit connection of the illness, and asked Hickson to go back and make amends with people, not because he was like ultimately going to die, we're all going to die, and you know, but it was more like, could this be contributing to your illness? And it's a possibility, so like, let's remove that possibility by mending those things and making them right. And so that was very interesting, and literally 30 seconds ago, maybe less, that's exactly what Hickson was saying about, you know, he communicated with some of the guys that he had massive fights with and personal grievances with, and even his brother Horian, who he had, most of the family seems to have problems with the guy, and it's not surprising. But yeah, it was really interesting hearing that, you know, he found massive benefit from just like letting those things go, you know. And like, are you surprised that the person had a different point of view than you? So that for me was the most challenging thing. I've got a very high level of morals, I think, and I think my recollection of events is pretty decent, and so I found it very difficult to like let go of that point of view and just go, okay, we've got different ways of seeing this. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it meant a lot at the time, but doesn't mean more than the relationship. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's move on and just let it simmer away into the past slowly, and put it where it's supposed to be. So yeah, so that's interesting, and that's what I was thinking about, and it's interesting hearing Hickson go through the same thing. So try and let go of those grievances, because they could potentially be holding you back. Bye. Better get running. See you later. Bye.